All right, so let's really get deep into our code here. So what we're going to do is block out what we want to do with this application in what's called pseudocode, which is basically just writing out in plain English what we want the program to do in the order that it does it. So the first step is tapping the button. So I'm going to hop back into my code. I'm going to add a quick comment. And if you're unfamiliar with comments, that's done by doing a / and then typing in some text. And basically a comment says, hey computer, don't read this. This is just for me to use. So I use these all the time, and you'll see me use them throughout the semester as a way to basically give myself a little note. So I'll say, tap the button, okay? And then we want the following steps. We want grab the text from the text box, right? And then display the text on the text field. All right, so display it on this, or text view, my apologies. Using the wrong language, text view. So the text view here, we have the text field here. Let's go up here. So this is called edited text, that's the ID. And then we have the text view, and that's name is main text. Okay, so those are now kind of variables floating around. So I'm giving myself this pseudocode so that I can just kind of block this out. So I'm going to show you how simple this is to grab some text. So we've been using val, right, for values, and var for variables. Let's type in val, and we're going to have a val called message. So we're just giving it a name, message, and it's going to be a string, right? Because it's going to be a piece of text. So we're going to set it equal to, we're going to grab the value from that edited text field here. So I'm just going to start typing in edited, and look at that, it starts filling in edited text, which was the name of our text box. Dot, whenever I add a dot to something, that says go inside that and find a property. And whenever I tap that dot, look at how many things come up. There are tons and tons of options. For example, color, font, size, all kinds of things. The property that we want to access is just called text. We just want to access the text, okay? But right now, this text is not a string. So let's add another dot, and let's type in to string, and look at that. So what that's saying is, and I know this is confusing, create a new value called message. It's a string. Set it equal to edited text, and within that edited text box, find one called text, and within that, find something called toString. And this is a function that's actually running. It's saying, basically, convert this text to a string. So it's going to grab whatever text is in this text box right here, convert it to a string for us. Okay? So now we need to display that string in the main text field. So let's just write main text dot, and we can use the same thing from before. Text equals message. So we're creating a value called message. It's a string, and it grabs that text. And then we're saying, hey, the main text box, just set it equal to message. Whatever's the current value of message, which is that value. All right, so so we don't have any errors yet. And what's happened is you'll notice it's actually imported a bunch of things up here, which is cool. It does that automatically for us. Let's run it and see what happens. Open it up. I have this file, this text in here. Let's say, hi there. Let's hit the button. And look at that. Our text view changed to say, hi there. Isn't that cool? So every time we hit that button, it's going to update that text view with text. Every single time. So as I change things, I can hit that button and it'll update again. Because remember, this code is running when? It's running when the button is tapped. So every time we tap this button, it's creating a new thing called message. It's grabbing that value, converting it to a string, and then it's displaying it on that text. So I know that's a lot That's a ton of information, but you've just created your first input-output based application. Now what I'd like you to do is take this to the next level, and for this assignment this week, you're going to be pushing yourself to use this to create a really simple calculator application. Now here's a quick hint. What you're going to do is you're going to make two text fields, one for one number, one for another number, and then have a button that adds those two fields together. Think about what we've learned so far and how you could create multiple values or multiple variables and use those to create mathematical operations, such as adding integers together, adding decimals together, etc. So you're going to make a super simple calculator using two text fields, a button, and a text view to display the answer. And that's your assignment for the week.